Hello everyone, this is Brett. Welcome to another episode of TopoRanger. So I'm driving up the highway north of Harrisburg and I look up on the side of this big mountain and I see these big cliffs, and I notice there is a power line cut going right up the mountain, right over the outcrop, and then up to the top of the mountain and down the other side. And I thought, what a great view that would be if I could get up to those rocks looking down over the river. The Dolphin Narrows, I think they're called, are right there. The Statue of Liberty is there. It gets rocky. So I looked on the map and there's this trail called the Mount Ararat Trail, which seems to go right up the power line cut over the mountain. So I drove to the road that accesses the pin where the Mount Ararat Trail is. It was just an old gravel road. It had a gate across it and a posted sign. So I don't know what that is. Came right up the road to another access point, and now I'm heading this way through the woods to try to get to or intersect the Mount Ararat Trail so we can take it on up the side of this mountain and get to those rocks. See if we can't get some great shots from high above the river valley below. But when I hit the power line cut, which shouldn't be too long, I'll come back in, all right? This looks like the maintenance road that follows the cut. Our goal is up there. We have to hike up this road for just a little bit, then we're gonna hit a four-way intersection, a four-way crossroads. From there we're going to take what will be the left-hand road, which should then very rapidly go steep right up the side of the mountain, which is exactly what we want because we are on a, I guess you call it a vista hunt. I can see the top of the mountain now, but it's still pretty far up there. Seeing this stuff here, it's all red. It's kind of like a conglomerate, but they might just categorize it as sandstone, or definitely has that reddish color though. Here's a nice big chunk of it to stand on. Came up around the bend here. Pretty sure the intersection is right there, and that road just goes, but we're gonna go to the left up here. It's nice because now we can't hear the highway. It's a lot more peaceful without that low. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Yep, there it is. Goes right off to the left, up to the top ridge line. And there's just all kinds of cliffs up there. And here we are at the crossroads. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there are the cliffs right there. That's where we're heading, if we can get there in time. I always tend to underestimate the time it takes to go up something that's high. I think that might be the Mount Ararat Trail. If you come down the other side of this, there's another mountain, and then I think then you come down into the river and Clark's Ferry. But off this way, the river's more like that. So if we can get up to those cliffs, we should have a nice view looking down that way. Should we go up here and then across, or should we just go straight? I'm hoping there's a trail here that kind of goes in that direction. There's no service road or anything. It's just outcrops. We don't have any time to waste, so let's get going. The four-wheel trail or road does kind of peter out here, and now we're at the foot of where it gets really steep, and this is just an overgrown talus or scree slope. Overgrown with what? Thorns. But it does look like we have some game trails, so let's see what we can use to get farther up this mountain. I think this one's coming to check me out, report back to his friends who are all just sitting up there. It's basically just kind of rock scrambling at this point. Shall we continue on? chilly up here. Wind is picking up. Getting closer though. Oh, I can see the river now. We should be able to get good shots of the Rockville Bridge, which is a very famous bridge. For those of you watching this video, not familiar with Pennsylvania or this part of Pennsylvania, that arch bridge behind me used to be the longest bridge of its kind in the world or the country for a while. It's still in use today. All right, that's our goal. And the cliffs do continue into the woods there. Getting up high now. All right, I can't stop now. There is activity up here though. This tree looks like it was fairly recently, probably because it's too close to the power line. So they do come up here to do maintenance. There's two more right there. There's got to be a trail at the top of this mountain. Let's take this log over and back onto the scree slope there, because I don't want to get bogged down in the forest. If we hit it right there, we'll get a clean shot right up to the top. Whoa. Yeah, that thing just rolled off. It was perched right there. Just my weight was enough to send it over. Got lucky there. Getting a little steeper now. There's the crossroads right there. There's the river. The trees are kind of blocking the view of the river. I'm hoping that up there we get a clear shot, but that means we might have to deal with some angry vultures. I've slowed down my pace a little bit because one of the things that I do is when I get really into something, I tend to speed up. And a lot of times on terrain like this, if you speed up, it can mean the difference between you getting somewhere, safely, or slipping, falling, and hurting something. You know what I mean? So as I was coming up the slope, I was like, rocks were moving like this. I'm like, dude, slow down, slow down. I checked my time. We're good on time. There's no reason for me to try to run up the last part of this mountain. This is what's fallen out of those cliffs, coming down from the top of the mountain. And here it looks like the individual pieces are bigger. It just looks like quartz, rounded quartz pebbles. Stream action, could maybe part of a former delta or something, back when the Appalachians were as high as the Rockies or the Himalayas. Still have some thorns though. Can never seem to totally get away from the thorns. I'm not more than 150 feet away from these vultures, and they're still just hanging out. Most of them looks like they're sleeping. It must be nice as an animal to be perched in a place like that and know that if anything tries to come and get you, you can just fly away, There's the river. Hopefully you can see it a little bit better. On the other side of the valley, you can see the cut going right up the other ridge. Well, we have made it to our destination. Scree slope goes there, and then you hit the bedrock, goes up at a very steep angle, And right up there is top, probably about maybe 50 feet vertically above us. You can see my breath up here. The wind is not bad at all though, so it's not as cold as it could be. Well, no parking lot. I gotta get some water, take a break. And I'm gonna do that right here. There we go. And here we are looking downriver at what I believe is the Rockville Bridge. And then the one beyond that, I think, is one of the bridges north of Harrisburg. And then as you come around the bend there, the river goes off to the right. You see all those islands there? I think just to the left of that is Harrisburg. And I can see downtown Harrisburg from here. Is that it? Maybe Harrisburg is a little bit farther there. You see that bridge going through the island? Is that City Island? Is that the northern? No, it's not, because there's no bridges below it. That's a good question. Okay, so what we're looking at there is McCormick Island, and that highway going across the top of it is in fact 81, which means Harrisburg is just off to our left. Now, unfortunately, the sun is right in my eyes. Right above the island on the western shore of the river, if you look straight up from that, I think that's Ski Round Top. That little hill with the white streak going down it. And that right there is the tower that we took a left at. So the center of the screen right now is that four-way crossroads that we came to on the trail. I'm gonna pull out, give you an idea of how far we've come. And we're quite a ways above that right now, I think. And there's the Rockville Bridge going across there. You see that? I'm gonna sign off here from the top of, I think, Peters Mountain. Don't quote me on that. It's the last mountain before the whole thing dives down into the river and then pops up right on the other side there. I can't believe how high we are above. I mean, we're way above the top of the electric tower there. So we're quite a bit up from that. I'll have to check the altitude when we get back. As far as the Ararat Trail, I'm not really sure what that is, because it comes right up that part, and I think it keeps going over there, and maybe it connects back here somewhere. It does look like there might be a trail going down that way. Maybe I'll take that out, or maybe we should just go straight back down this cliff here the way we came. Although we are parked down there, so we could try to do a bushwhack straight down that way and intersect the trail. But luckily, you guys don't have to worry about that. Because your journey ends here. I got about an hour hike back to the car from here, maybe. Maybe 45 minutes, I don't know. I want to leave enough time so I can get down the side of this mountain safely over the scree and the talus here. I don't want to be on the losing end of one of those boulders, if you know what I mean, right? If you had a good time, make sure you hit subscribe. Don't be shy, all right? Come along for the adventures. This is Brett for TopoRanger, and I'll see everybody in the next episode.